Welcome to This Explainer. We all like to think we know exactly why we buy what we buy, right? But actually, there's an entire invisible playbook operating right under our noses, influencing literally everything from the food we crave to the clothes we wear. Think about this for a second. Every single day, you wake up and make around 34,000 decisions: what to wear, what to eat, what to watch. But we're going to explore how many of those wants are actually carefully planted in your mind by marketing experts. It's a fascinating and honestly slightly terrifying reality that many of the things we consider our personal preferences are actually the result of highly calibrated design. Okay, let's dive right in. And to really ground this, we're going to look at a highly specific, totally nostalgic Indian snack, farfar, also known as fryams. We're starting here because it perfectly represents this wild intersection of basic human cravings, cultural history, and modern commercialization. It's a snack that evolved from a simple, homemade preservation technique into a massive, globally manufactured commodity. Take a look at this. This humble cultural staple starts out as these dense, hard little pellets made of potato starch and sago, measuring maybe just 1 or 2 centimeters. But the contrast when you expose them to heat, it's basically magic. Through rapid moisture vaporization and starch gelatinization, these tiny translucent discs expand dramatically, like up to 10 times their original volume. They transform into this light, airy structure with a shatter-crisp texture that just melts in your mouth. Whether you traditionally deep fry them in hot oil for a mere 10 to 20 seconds, or you use a modern air fryer at 180 degrees for a healthier crunch, the result is the exact same. And that air frying method? That's a direct response to a massive consumer shift, cutting fat content by up to 70%, all while keeping that incredibly satisfying hollow crunch that our brains are just naturally wired to love. Now, let's zoom way out from the humble home kitchen to the staggering scale of the global savory snack machine. As of 2024, the global savory snack market hit a mind-boggling figure, $258 billion. To put that into perspective, just think about the sheer mountain of potato chips, extruded puffs, and popcorn required to generate that kind of revenue. It is absolutely monumental. And guys, it is not slowing down. Driven by global urbanization, an insatiable demand for on-the-go convenience, and a huge shift toward health-conscious snacking options, this industry is expected to absolutely skyrocket. By 2030, we're looking at a projected market value of $354 billion. This brilliantly illustrates the global divide when it comes to our snacking habits. North America currently holds the largest share, which makes sense given the deeply entrenched snacking culture there. But the Asia-Pacific region is the real story. It's experiencing explosive, unparalleled growth right now. Rising disposable incomes and a rapidly expanding middle class in countries like India and China are completely rewriting the global market landscape. To feed this global craving, these massive food corporations aren't just using traditional recipes anymore. No, they are actively engineering these snacks. We're talking advanced twin-screw extrusion machinery, AI-driven flavor prediction to create the perfect umami profile, and multi-sensory design to ensure the crunch, aroma, and taste hit every single one of your sensory buttons at exactly the right millisecond. So here is the crucial point, the real plot twist, if you will. None of this massive consumption is an accident. The brands creating these snacks, and frankly, the brands creating almost everything you buy, are actively hacking your brain. They're using neuroscience, behavioral psychology, and crazy sophisticated data analytics to bypass your rational thought process and tap right into your subconscious desires. Take the left digit effect, a classic neuromarketing trick. Because we read from left to right, our brains place an immense amount of weight on the very first digit we see. So a pair of pants priced at $7.99 feels like a vastly better bargain than one priced at $800, even though the difference is literally a single dollar. Your brain processes that 7 and instantly goes, wow, massive deal. And this manipulation builds even further with strike-through pricing. By displaying a higher, crossed-out price directly next to the current one, brands artificially inflate the perceived value of what you're buying. It's a lot like the old trick of making a line look smaller simply by drawing a longer line next to it. You aren't actually judging the absolute value of the item anymore. You're just judging the perceived discount. Or how about this? If you've ever bought a large popcorn at the movies just because it was, only slightly more expensive than a medium, your brain was successfully manipulated by decoy pricing. They don't actually expect you to buy the medium. It exists purely as a decoy, a psychological stepping stone to make you feel like a financial genius for buying a bucket of popcorn the size of your head. But wait, it gets crazier, because it's not just numbers on a price tag. When you walk into a grocery store and immediately smell fresh bakery items or see vibrant produce right at the entrance, that is sensory priming at work. It's actively putting you in a vulnerable, happy mood. Studies actually show that a hint of a strong, pleasant scent can boost customer satisfaction by 20%, making you way more likely to open your wallet. Have you ever gotten completely lost looking for a specific store in a shopping mall? Well, that's not bad architecture. That is the Gruen transfer. Retail spaces are intentionally designed to be disorienting, labyrinth-like mazes. The logic is simple. The more you wander around trying to find the exit, the more likely you are to leave with a decorative candle you definitely didn't know you needed. Supermarkets are just absolute masterclasses in this stuff. Brands pay massive premiums to sit exactly at your eye level because those items are 25% more likely to be purchased. Stores intentionally hide daily essentials like milk way at the back, so you have to wander through endless aisles of temptation. And when you finally reach the checkout, they use parasite placement, bombarding you with candy and trinkets right when your willpower is entirely depleted for a quick dopamine hit. This manipulation even extends seamlessly into the commercials you watch through a tactic called proxy targeting. Think about ads for men's body wash or deodorant. If you watch closely, they are rarely speaking directly to men. They are actively marketing to women, appealing to what a woman might want, simply because the data shows women are often the ones purchasing these toiletries for their partners. So what does this all mean? What this vast interconnected web of neuromarketing reveals is a massive cultural shift. Decades ago, we bought things strictly for survival, rationing basics and covering necessities. Today, we are no longer buying for survival. We are buying from manufactured experiences. We're buying permission to feel a certain way, whether that's athletic, luxurious, or just comforted. And the sheer scale of this programming is exhausting. The average person today is bombarded by up to 10,000 advertisements every single day. 10,000! From the moment you pick up your phone in the morning to the billboards you pass, to the carefully chosen thumbnails on your streaming apps, it creates a constant, never-ending subconscious loop telling you that you always, always need more. With global quarterly consumer spending hitting numbers like $2.4 trillion, corporations have successfully weaponized marketing. They have completely co-opted the consumer, fundamentally dictating what happiness, success, and contentment even mean to you. They've managed to link the very abstract concept of personal fulfillment directly to the physical act of buying stuff. The reality of this explainer is that brands aren't just getting better at selling us puffed snacks and running shoes. Actually, scratch that, it's way deeper. They are getting better at programming our very identities. They shape how we view ourselves and how we wish to be viewed by the world, basically using our own biology and psychology against us to generate endless revenue. But hey, there is a silver lining here. Once you understand the underlying code of these psychological tricks, you literally cannot unsee them. Your awareness becomes your ultimate defense. You now know exactly why the milk is at the back of the store, why the popcorn prices make absolutely no sense, and why that $7.99 price tag is winking at you. So I want to leave you with this. The next time you pick up a snack, whether it's an intricately engineered potato chip or a nostalgic bowl of Fryams, or when you're looking at a pair of pants, or even selecting a streaming movie to watch, I want you to stop, take a breath, look at the environment around you, and ask yourself, who is really making this choice? Is it you, or is it their design?